There's a brand or a creator out there, and you know one, maybe you have seen dozens, that does not have the biggest following, right? They don't have the most polished videos. They don't post every single day. They don't run the most ad or have the most impressive bio. And yet, when they speak, people actually listen to them. When they launch something new, people buy without needing to be convinced at all. When they show up in a field, people stop because they carry something like a weight, a presence, a kind of authority that makes you feel like this person, this brand, knows exactly what they are doing and exactly who they are. That thing actually has a name. It's called being taken seriously. And it is the single most underrated goal in the creator economy today. Not going viral, not hitting a follower milestone, not trending. Being taken seriously by the right people for the right reasons at the right level. I mean, the kind of serious where clients come to you, where collaborators seek you out, where your audience defends you when you are not in the room. Most creators just never get there, sadly. And this is not about the market being too crowded or that these creators lack talent. They do have talent, but because they are making specific correctable mistakes in how they present themselves, position their work, communicate their value, and show up in the world. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 30 of them. 30 ways to build a brand that commands the kind of respect that most people spend years waiting for and they probably never receive. 30 ways grouped into 5 categories. Every single one of them is actionable, very actionable. They are actionable today, this week, this quarter. 30 ways to make sure every signal your brand sends is telling the same story, the story of someone that is worth taking seriously. So here we go. Category 1 is clarity, because confused brands are ignored brands. Number 1 in this category, know exactly who you're for and say it out loud. Not everyone who wants to grow. Mention the specific person, their specific problem, their specific moment. The more precisely you can name your audience, the more your audience feels named, and people pay attention to whoever makes them feel seen. Number 2, have one core idea you are known for. Not 5, not a range of topics loosely connected. I mean, one idea, a belief, a framework, a perspective that is so distinctively yours that people associate your name with, right? Confusion is enemy of authority. Clarity is the beginning of it. So be clear about who you are and what you want to be known for. 3, write a brand statement that is not a job description. I help people grow their business is not a brand statement. It is a resume line. A brand statement tells people what word you are inviting them into, what changes when they follow you, what you stand against as much as what you stand for. 4, know what you're not. This is the most underrated clarity tool. The brands that command respect know exactly what they don't do, won't say, won't stand for. The refusal is a form of positioning. Saying no is how you signal that your yes means something. 5, make your niche feel like a movement, not a category. Movements have language, they have enemies, they have a before and after. If your niche feels like a column in a spreadsheet, fitness, finance, fashion, you have a category. If it feels like something that people belong to, something they believe in, you have a movement. Movements build serious brands. The second category is consistency, because trust is built in repetitions, not moments. 6, show up even when it doesn't perform. The algorithm is not your audience. Your audience is watching whether you stay when things get quiet. Consistency in the slow season is the most credible signal of your belief in your craft, in your own work. 7, have a visual identity that doesn't change with trend. Colors, fonts, composition style, tone of photography, this should be yours. Recognizable, stable, not reoriented every quarter. Trends borrow trust. Identity builds it, and you need to do that. 8, sound the same across every platform. Your Twitter, your Instagram, your newsletter, your YouTube, the voice should be recognizably the same person. When your brand sounds different in different rooms, people feel the inconsistency without being able to name it, right? They feel it. They just stop trusting because of that. 9, publish on a schedule your audience can predict. Not necessarily every day, but reliably. Predictability is a form of promise keeping. And the brands that keep their promises, even small ones, ain't trust. 10, follow through publicly. When you say that you're going to do something, a series, a launch, a project, do it. When you don't, address it. The most credibility destroying thing a brand can do is announce something and then quietly abandon it. Your audience is watching, whether your words have weight or not. They are watching. Category 3, quality. This is because excellence is the loudest signal of seriousness. 11, make one piece of content per week that you are genuinely proud of. Not a post you rush, not content you made because you hadn't posted in 3 days. One piece per week that represents what your standard is. One piece that you would show a stranger as evidence of what you are capable of doing. 12, invest in your audio before anything else. If you make video content, bad audio will destroy your brand faster than bad visuals. I need to tell you this. People will forgive a shaky camera, they will not forgive content that is hard to hear. Audio quality is a proxy for professionalism. Now, upgrade it first. Upgrade your audio first. 13, write better than people expect. In your captions, your emails, your DMs, most people write carelessly in small spaces, right? But those small spaces are where your brand actually lives for most of your audience. Beautiful writing in unexpected places is one of the most underused differentiation tool available to any creative in this creative economy. 14, edit more than you think you should. The first draft is the raw material. The brand is built in revision. Cut the weak opening, sharpen the middle, make the ending land. The difference between content that is shared and content that is forgotten is almost always in the editing. 15, have a signature format that is unmistakably yours. A recurring series, a distinctive structure, a specific way you open videos or close essays. Signature formats build familiarity, right? And familiarity over time becomes trust. The brand you're trying to build needs things people can expect from you. Category 4, courage, because same brands are forgettable brands. 16, take a public position on something that matters in your field. Not a political controversy, I mean a professional one. The debates your industry is having, the assumption everyone accepts that you think is wrong, the approach everyone uses that you think is broken. Taking a clear, reasoned, confident position is how you stop being a commentator and start being a voice in that industry. 17, share the failure before the lesson. Not, here's what I learned from my mistake. No, but here's what the mistake felt like. Here's what I got wrong and how long it took me to see it. The failure before the lesson is the part that creates trust. Do you get that? The lesson alone is just content. 18, disagree publicly and respectfully with conventional wisdom. Every field has sacred cows, accepted ideas that nobody questions because everyone accepts them. Finding those ideas, examining them honestly, and being willing to say, I don't think this is right. Here's why. That is how serious thinkers establish themselves. Being like that for its own sake is holo, but genuine intellectual disagreement made with rigor and respect is one of the most powerful brand building moves available to you. 19, post the work you are nervous about. The piece you've been sitting on because you are not sure it is ready. The opinion you keep almost publishing. The story you've written 3 times because you can't decide if it's too personal. That nervousness is signal. It means that the work is close to something true, and true things are what builds serious brands. 20, say what the industry wants. Every field has things that people think but will not say publicly. The uncomfortable truths about how brands actually get built. The things that separate people who make it from people who don't, that nobody talks about because it's inconvenient or threatening to the status quo. The brand that names these things becomes the brand that people trust with the real questions. Category 5, substance. And this is because depth is what survives the noise. 21, build a body of work, not just a field. A field is horizontal. Post after post after post. A body of work is vertical. Ideas that build on each other, that reference each other, that deepen over time. Essays, long-form videos, framework, things that will still be valuable in 3 years. Start building vertically, not just horizontally. 22, develop your own language. The specific words and phrases that are yours, the frameworks that carries your name, the vocabulary that makes people say, that sounds like you, without seeing your name attached to it. Language is intellectual property. Develop it intentionally. 23, teach what you actually know, not what you've only read. 23, teach what you actually know, not what you've only read. The fastest way to lose credibility is to teach at a level beyond your genuine experience. The fastest way to build it is to teach only what you have lived, failed at, recovered from, and mastered. Depth of real experience communicated simply is always more powerful than breadth of borrowed knowledge communicated impressively. 24. Reference your own work. Create a library, even a small one, and reference it. Something like, as I wrote in my essay on positioning, or as I spoke about in my video last month. This signal that your thinking is accumulated, right? That you have a body of ideas, not just a stream of content. It positions you as someone who is building a philosophy, not just producing. 25. Write long form. Even if your primary channel is short form, a newsletter, a blog, an occasional long essay, long form signals that you have enough to say to sustain depth. And depth is what separates serious thinkers from content producers. Even if 90% of your audience never read the long form or never watch a long form video, its existence changes how they perceive everything that you make. 26. Know the history of your field. The brands that built before you, the ideas that failed, the campaign that changed things, right? The figures whose work still shapes the conversations in your industry. This knowledge referenced naturally in your content signals that you're not just reacting to the present, you are standing on the shoulder of something. That signals serious. It signals that you are a serious person. 27. Build in public. Share the process, not just the product. The research, the decision making, the draft, the pivot. Watching someone think in real time, someone who's thinking you trust, is one of the most compelling things a brand can offer. It creates investments. People will watch you build, want to see what you build. 28. Curate as well as create. The brands that are most trusted are not just producers of ideas. They are filters. They point to what matters. The flag was worth reading, was worth watching, was worth knowing. Curation signals discernment, and discernment is a proxy for taste, and taste is a proxy for expertise. Do you get that? 29. Slow down your best ideas. Most creators rush their insights. They get an idea, they post it immediately, move to the next thing. The serious brands sit with their best idea. They develop them, right? They test them in conversation. They deepen them before they publish them. The idea you could have posted in 5 minutes, given 30 days, becomes something that could become an anchor for your career. 30. Make your audience smarter. This is the ultimate standard of all. Not more entertained, not more inspired. Make them smarter. Does someone who follows you consistently understand their field, their craft, their life at a deeper level than they did before? If the answer is yes, you are building a brand that people will not only take seriously, but they will defend like they defend their tribe or their religion. 30 ways. But this is what I want you to hear underneath all of them, all of the things I've shared. Being taken seriously is not about performing seriousness, right? It is not about looking more professional or sounding more authoritative or projecting a confidence that you do not feel in any way. It is about deciding to hold yourself to a standard and holding it consistently, even when no one is watching, even when the numbers are not moving, even when it would be easier to cut corners. The brands that people take seriously are the ones that you can feel the self-respect underneath the work, right? Where every post, every video, every essay carries the quiet signal that the person who made this actually cares about what they are doing, not just about the outcome. They care about the craft, about what they are putting into the world, about the person who will encounter what they are putting into the world. That care is not a technique. It is actually commitment. Now, pick 3 things from this list. You just pick 3, just 3, right? And you will commit yourself to it this week. Not 30 of them because they are a lot. Pick 3. The 3 that if you did them consistently for the next 30, 60, 90 days, it will change how people see your brand and how your brand shows up in the world. Write them down, put them somewhere that you see them every day, and then go do the work. Not to go viral, not to impress an algorithm, but to build something that lasts. The world doesn't need more content. It needs more brand that is worth trusting. Now, go be one. I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you're able to get a thing or one valuable thing from this video. I trust that you were able to. If you were, please like the video, share, drop a comment. It would help the video reach more creators, founders, entrepreneurs who are trying to build brands online. Thank you. And as always, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.